Welcome to F&S Conversations, a show that will unpack several industry-related topics. I'm Frank, and with me today is Taylor Makoba, Six, and Jay. Today's topic, we'll be covering, do you think SA Fashion Week is doing enough for local designers and brands, upcoming or mainstream? So I'm gonna repeat it again. Do you guys think SA Fashion Week is doing enough for local designers and brands, upcoming or mainstream? And my first question based on that topic is that, what is SA Fashion Week, or what is Fashion Week for you guys, so you can give like your own descriptive towards what it is for people that don't know, and then we can just get into the topic.
Alright, Taylor, wanna start?
For my personal opinion, I would say, I don't want to say SA Fashion Week, you know what I'm saying, but just
the idea of what Fashion Week is.
Yeah, the idea of just like Fashion Week, personally for me, would be, I think it's like an industry event where fashion designers or your brands or your fashion houses are just like given an opportunity to showcase more of their latest collections, and then you have buyers, and then you also have just like the press to kind of give them a certain platform where they could just to share more of their creativity.
And then obviously it attracts the general public.
Yeah.
So that would be like us, the creators, and then also
It was hard to say actually.
your tidies, several others.
Yeah.
All right. Exactly. So based on like SA Fashion Week, what do you think is missing in like our own Fashion Week here in South Africa?
The fashion. that's what's missing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, bro, like we're missing a lot in terms of like fashion houses, opportunities, upcoming brands. It's quite hard. I mean, making it to Fashion Week, SA Fashion Week, if I should say, is not an achievement. You know, it's not. People don't look forward to it. It's whatever. But look at Paris and Milan, and
New York.
People look forward to that. Like, not just fashion houses, but like fashion creatives, models, everyone that's affiliated with fashion. It's a big thing.
Just normal people
as well.
It accommodates everyone.
Everyone.
Now it's like an open community.
It is. And another thing, you discover new brands you've never even heard of.
Yeah.
You're like, oh damn.
Because I think with SA Fashion Week, you have to like submit, or like you have to register.
Apply.
Apply. You have to apply.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that works the same way in like the international space, but I just don't see the idea of applying to showcase your art. Because at the end of the day, bro, it's not about getting the clothes to retail. It's about showcasing someone's art and growing that like general creativity as an overall. So if you're like an upcoming designer or you have a brand, you know that the end goal is to at least make it to SA Fashion Week. It shouldn't be like, now I can go on the internet, quickly find SA Fashion Week, submit my portfolio, and then, I'm in. Like, and then once you get rejected, you get discouraged because it's not giving you enough, bro, you know?
But also sometimes they don't reject you off like because they think your clothes aren't fine. I feel like because you know with SA Fashion Week you pay. So imagine like a designer who's like fresh out of like tertiary, or who's about to who wants to establish themselves and take out a collection. Where would they get the money to buy material, manufacture the clothes, and then after that pay SA Fashion Week? And it's not Fashion Week only. You have to get models that you pay. If you need a stylist, you pay stylist, makeup, logistics. It's like there's a lot of cost to it. So imagine for someone who's just like fresh out. So where would they get the funds to actually fund their whole project that they want to plan for the fashion?
Even with that said, like And I just want to go like onto the idea of collaboration, right? Like you talking about like people coming together, getting models, getting like the funding in order for you to put together the garments. Personally, I just think it's important for like creatives to just come together. I think it's time that like we just sit down and engage in conversations, because I think a lot of people are just stuck up on this idea of being in like an unpenetratable bubble where like if you're doing really, really well for yourself, like you just feel like you can't take a meeting with someone, like even if people just want to chill and like let's talk over coffee. Man, we could talk over like a bottle of water. Like we don't have to purchase the coffee and all of that just to have a conversation. But what I'm trying to say is that I just think it's time we work for more of like a communal goal rather than working for individual goals, because I think it's a lot of creatives, and I just don't want to say creatives, like even if you're not part of the industry but you feel like you can contribute, I think a lot of people are in possession of the necessary resources to help push another person forward. And like if you've gained so much personally, then I just think you could start making strides collectively. Like if we could expand our thinking and hearts and minds, like to just working as a team rather than standing divided, then I think we could push forward as a youth. I don't want to say a youth, but like South Africa in general, man, because I just feel like there's a lack of communication and we're just too focused on what other people are doing outside of SA and not here.
Yeah.
Like,
I think more than anything, there's like a disconnect between the people that have made it and people that are trying to make it. They're not sharing the codes. Man.
Yeah, like
share
we
the
need
codes. Share the codes.
We need
Tell
the
us,
codes,
put us on.
Yeah.
That's all. Tag me, whatever.
Yeah.
As little as that, bro. If you can do that, I swear, people can go far.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of, here in SA, it's a matter of who you know.
Yeah.
Who's talking about you?
Exactly, you know, that's it. And it's
reposting,
and that's
adding
it. And we have a lot of people that are actually doing it, but are not famous or insta famous, if I should say, or have clout or anything like that. But they're actually holding it down. So you ask yourself, what are you doing wrong? Like incorrectly? Like what's the chat?
Because I feel like with like, from what I've seen on the internet, based on international fashion, from like the top 5, international places like New York, London, Milan, Paris, and Seoul in South Korea, is that like they all have their own communities, and even for a stranger that doesn't know anything about fashion but loves clothes is accepted in that community, you know? You don't have to, because I'm not wearing Rich Nisi, I don't fit in that bubble or that circle. Oh no, he doesn't have Tebe on. You know, some people don't know those brands. They need people to speak more for those brands. We need Fashion Week. I think that's the importance of Fashion Week, to allow these brands to be seen in a better scale.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we are able to see hundreds of brands on a daily.
For sure.
On the internet.
On the internet, bro. We can see like your Murder. We can see like your Bodegas. You know, we see all these fires brands, bro, on a daily, and we only cover 2 brands at max,
Literally 3
at max.
On a good day, yeah.
What are we doing, though?
And like, which platforms are covering that? Yomzansi, probably. What else?
Literally,
Bubblegum,
is Kippa,
like. We should be attracting these people, your Yomzansis, your Bubblegums, to
Fashion
be at Fashion Week, to get us, the general public, to come out and be there to absorb that energy, that hype, bro, behind.
I'll tell you what I think is the cheat code to this.
Yeah.
Taking those brands, those Teves, those Riches, and taking them and putting them in the streets. Trust me.
You're right.
I'm telling you, have you ever seen anyone like rocking Rich with a street outfit? Never.
Yeah.
It's always, generic and,
It's like commercial.
It's commercial, exactly. Take a Tebe sweater or something, put it in the street. I swear, bro. People are going to be like, what's this? More than anything, the streets will make you money, bro. Not just money, but exposure. People that don't know what that is, they will know, because they'll ask, what is this? And you're like, no, this is Tebe, for example. So more than anything, take it to the streets, take it to the people. I'm not saying that should be your brand, but like try it out. Let's see.
Back to the question asked that what is Fashion Week? Like in my understanding, Fashion Week is like an art gallery per se, like a time and place where like artists come and showcase their artwork, and then on the day is like the highest bidder gets like those pieces. Because with my understanding, pieces shown at the fashion show aren't really for retail. I don't really go out in the stores, you know. It's like most of these brands just archive them, you know, after like showcasing the brand's narrative and, you know, whatever story they have for the public. So these brands internationally go in from like one season to another, showcasing, you know. In South Africa, it's like, yes, it's good they have like different designers coming in, you know, on the roster and all, but why can't we have, you know, Rich come in 5 years straight in SA Fashion Week, you know? Like, why can't he come now, showcase in South Africa, showcase in Milan, showcase in Ghana, whatever it is, you know? Why does he have to like showcase once in South Africa and then it's like gone, you know? Because if he's a regular dog and people, the general public is shown that fashion is like a big industry in South Africa, then we're gonna have more people attending fashion weeks in South Africa, you know. And does the organization itself pitch for the right audience, you know? Is it like for special people only, or is it for like people interested in fashion? You know, like it's rare to find an SA Fashion Week and bloggers are posting the streetwear at SA Fashion, you know, like this is what people wore, you know. We don't get that. So it shows that the audience that goes there is like, it's like they handpicked for some reason, you know. It's not general public. People are interested in fashion, you know. People who wanna go see the next line, like we wanna see our favorite designers, to be fair. We wanna see the new kids on the block.
Exactly.
You know, people are tired of seeing the same faces.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, we don't even
Because I mean,
know some of them.
sorry to cut you.
It's cool.
Because I believe, right, that we can have your Rich, your Wanda, your Tebe, my cloth, right, showcasing, and then underneath them should have like the upcoming boys, you know, the hot
Of
boys
course.
that we, because then it allows Fashion Week to have more room,
Variety,
you know, to showcase, bro,
And to grow.
because these bloggers are fetching the upcoming designers and speaking to them directly, you know, or they have to link up at some event, you know, we don't know what they do. Because I feel like Virgil's impact was, I'll step in Louis so that I can allow the street to shine. Letting other streetwear brands, other brands in fact, not just streetwear, but like any other brand that's capable to venture into that platform or that surface to do what the Louis can do, so that we as the general public can be like, yo, if I can't afford Louis Vuitton, I can get something else, and I'm still happy, and I can still come out and show love to Louis Vuitton the same way I want to show love to Richard Nice. I can still go to Gucci and show love the same way I want to show love to Wanda. You know, we have this affection as people. We have the craziest love for anything because it's how the mind works. You know,
that's what Murder said, you know, about Murder Bravado said that about Virgil actually. Virgil was actually the first person to take him to a fashion show, bro. Like, we need such things. We need people in positions to put people on.
Exactly.
Who decides war now, bro? It's different. Like, sure, it's big because of that opportunity. Putting him there, sharing the codes once again, and that was Virgil, you know.
Yeah, I feel like SA Fashion Week has to focus more on development of like the designers and like the brands, you know.
After that intense first chat, do you think social media has closed in the gap to allow certain creatives, or let me just say, do you think social media has closed in the gap in allowing designers or brands to get a bit of some exposure that they can't get off Fashion Week or SA Fashion Week in particular?
Somewhat.
Yeah, so somewhat effect they do. It does.
Somewhat to a certain extent, yes, of course, because we wouldn't know about certain brands and certain people if it wasn't for social media, right? Yes, but I still think it's not doing enough. Yeah, I think you guys can vouch for that. I don't know.
mean, I would vouch for it because we still see the same brands.
Yeah, nonetheless, yeah.
Exactly. So, because for people like, let's take our younger siblings, they want to see what we rocking.
Yeah.
So if you can't showcase these brands that we say we love, they won't get like an idea.
I understand what you're saying.
Of what it is we're doing or what is fashion in South Africa.
Yeah.
I feel like, how did to cut you off?
Yeah.
I feel like it's social when you mention our younger siblings. It's more of like when you say they want to see what we wearing. Imagine a 15-year-old or like a 14-year-old. They like clothes, not fashion. I feel like there's a difference.
Yeah, for sure.
They like clothes. They want to look good. You know, what they're exposed to is your H&M, Cotton On, Factory. You know, because everyone rocks.
And you know the guy, Mr. Drip. I ain't gonna call him out, but
No, we don't.
we don't accommodate that.
So you know they see like rocking a hoodie, skinny jeans, and Vans. You know, and then you find younger siblings looking at like a 6. You know, it's like if he had to wear like a Makosa, you know, and make it like look very,
like you said,
you know,
street.
like street and like narrative enough for the young kids to understand it. You know, then they will slowly
get into
it, you know. Because if a 16 or 15-year-old goes in and sees like a Microsoft website or like Instagram page, I don't think they'll understand.
No, for sure.
Like even,
you know, I don't think they'll understand it to a certain extent. They'll just, you know, back to cotton on.
It's nice.
You know, not even complimented, but it won't get to them that because this is fashion, you know, like pieces.
Yeah, because I feel like, right, we've all experienced this. That as kids, when we were growing up, the brands that we were wearing, like Nike for instance, if I saw 6 wearing Nike back in school, I would tell my mom, I want Nike.
I gotta get
Bag. I need to get
I
Nike.
need that Nike.
You get me?
For sure, yeah.
I mean, we all played soccer. The latest boots.
Of course, yeah.
If I was wearing a Mercurial, you wanted the best Adidas boot
No, for sure.
or the best Puma boot.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about the top 2 brands, Adi and Nike. And it's like kids get influenced easy. I remember, I don't know who was talking about this, but they said if your child is easily influenced, the parent can easily do what the child wants because they already know that my kid has to be happy. They need to be brought into a system where they are allowed to get what they want, you know, whether it's tough or accommodative or, you know, they can afford it. At least the parent allows the kid to have what they want.
So imagine at these schools, it's Civis Day, you know, Civis Day, Baparan 21, Cotton On, H&M,
Exactly.
supplies. So imagine if one kid or like 5 in like each class of 40 can wear like Happyville, Refuse, F&S, you know, that way change narrative in like South African kids and youth that South African brands are worth it.
Exactly.
Like, I think like with regards to what you guys are saying, and like I think what I'm about to say right now has more of like a synthetic approach. Like when you're looking at, I don't like the word influencers. Like when you're looking at a model, for example, a model has the opportunity to kind of like rock a brand, like rock a shirt, rock some kicks, make them look fly, alright? And then you got kids that are looking onto that model or that influencer who has a certain following, alright? When you look at the analytics and the insight. And if you take it in more of like a chemical form, right? So you have like the model who's the product, and then you have the end result, right? So you have the product, and then you have the entire process, and then you have the reactants, which is the final product, right? Sorry, it's vice versa. Yeah, it's the reactants and the product. That's the end result. So if you have people who have the ability to influence a youth, a group of people, right? I feel like as a whole, we should just, hey man, all I'm simply trying to say is that we need that trust, man.
I think what Taylor's trying to say is that there's a difference between an influencer and someone that's influential.
Yeah.
And very often people that are influencers here, where we are not influencing as much as they should be.
Exactly.
Right?
Thanks, man. Thanks for that. Yeah.
That's it. They're not influencing as much as they should.
Yeah.
And you get people that are not influencers but are influential.
Like they put the wrong people in position, man. And I know, who am I to say? Who am I to say?
No, for sure.
Like, who am I to say that person's wrong? Like, they don't deserve that opportunity.
Yeah.
But hey, man, I just feel like everyone deserves a shot. You know, like we all deserve a shot at trying something.
Yeah.
You know, like you're a creative, man. You have the ideas. You weren't birthed, and then, man, all of a sudden, man, you feel like you could express yourself through creative terms. And now that just because you're not in like a higher position, or you don't have people like that are looking onto you like in a positive light, it doesn't mean you can't have the opportunity. At least trust someone.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, man, they had the ability to make certain walks to a certain point where they had the opportunity to work with your brands such as Gussie Flavor, your $1 photo, even if it could possibly be a photographer, man. I feel like everyone in society serves a purpose, right? And it doesn't even matter, man, if you're in a position of popularity. I just think these numbers, man, are used to control us in a certain way that we could look onto people and be like, man, I don't think he's worth it. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, you're just in a position where you don't have the necessary resources to create and put shit out in more of like a positive light.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like
get
the common saying,
Yeah.
social media can be a great tool and at the same time mass destruction, or like it can be like a weapon, you know. It can destroy and build, you know.
I think
50-50.
like a lot of creators, man, I look onto a lot of creators and I feel like we're all perfectionists. Like, man, I know you always want that idea and you want it to come out so perfect that when someone looks onto it and they be like, you know what, it's gonna change the world. But then I just feel like, man, there's no such thing as ugly art. Like, if you're creative, you go through the process, and even in the process of just creating, the process of creating carries so much beauty in itself. So what would make you think the idea that you're trying to present carries less beauty in trusting someone who has never been in a position of like working with a certain brand or like
a certain photographer.
You get what
I
I'm
guess it's
saying?
because going back to social media, and if it's allowing these brands or designers to have enough accessibility to showcase their work, is that it's not enough because we don't have a lot of publications.
Bloggers, South African bloggers,
and
to say,
you know, we don't have a lot of, because we're depending on agencies to give us the work. You know, but certain agencies are gonna look at, Pio Kendrick, because Kendrick has been a loyal client of our agency. We'll work with him, but Kendrick doesn't know what Six knows, or Kendrick doesn't know what Jay knows as a stylist. You know what I mean?
But Jay can learn.
But you know, it's like, bro, artists, a lot of the musicians I know and I listen to, you can hear that they learned on the job. And it's how modern day society is progressing, is that we are learning on the job. It's no longer sitting down trying to read the books. Yes, you can have the book. You can have the book with you while learning from like that component that you're learning from, you get. And I just think that going back to social media and how it engages with certain people, especially if you're trying to get your brand to surpass certain numbers, because I feel like now we're living in a world of statistics, and hey man, if this brand isn't 15,000 followers, I'm not gonna fuck with it.
Fine.
I mean, look at how we helped Percy, for instance. We used social media, right? He didn't have to get like influential people to do that shit.
Yeah.
You get he had like he did a brand. He was like, I'm dropping teas. People were hyped up. As his homies, we put it out.
For sure.
Get that mashaka, guys.
I need a tea, man.
Yeah, you know, you need that, bro.
Yeah.
You need people to, cause the moment I wear your tee, Six wears your tee, Taylor wears your tee, a tidy, a grape, a wish, a whomever wears your stwadlo, it grows. And now you understand the importance of having a group around you. It's so, yo, bro, like it's so important to have a group around you because social media is like a group, dog.
Word.
You know, if I'm not part of a certain group, I'm not accepted.
It's like a community per se.
Exactly, yeah. So certain brands won't vouch because of I'm not in that group.
Yeah.
I must target that group. Then they're forgetting a certain community. Like you were saying
Triggered.
that, you know,
I'm triggered, right? Hey, man, but yeah.
we'll allow you to talk, man. But you know, it's like, why do we have to like? You start with me, right? You see that now, I'm progressing well with F. I'm progressing well. Then, once Frank is getting the notice from from one or two people in that community, and I'm like, yo, dog, I know whoever that's fucking with your shit. And then you're like, I fade it, you're out. Now I'm left behind, and I don't mind that, bro. It's okay. Like
Growth is good.
Growth
Yeah.
is good, but you know, always remember where you're from, man.
Yeah.
You know, who were there to help you. You know, I believe from the platform we have as Frank and Styles, right, is we want everyone to feel like they're accepted, but for the right reasons. You know? I can't bring you on because I'm trying to, you need to be spoon-fed, bro. No, I'm bringing you on because I believe that there's something you can use to impact other kids, bro.
Yeah,
you know, if we are doing this whole putting on the kids. People might say, no, you're taking it too literal, but I'm like, no, who else are we going to do it for? Because the older guys aren't really trying to accommodate us. Even on social media, bro, a single repost is not gonna kill
Like it don't cost to get that
it don't
repost.
ruin.
Like you won't pull a muscle.
Exactly,
or
you know,
whatever.
I will always
Bro,
thank my opportunities for how I got to meet Kasi Flavor. Because I was in high school, didn't know F about fashion, yeah? And the homies were like, yo, don't you know Kabila Kumane? Respects to him, yeah? And I once put out a post where I was like, one day I would love to work with you. And he commented back. It didn't kill him for that, though. You know? Even though it was never gonna happen, yeah? Because I didn't think it was. But when that happened, he gave me and Ty an opportunity to showcase what we have. Even though we did not see ourselves as models. Is that social media can give brands, can give certain designers that thing that, okay, if I don't have the budget, any model, I can easily hlanganisa something and get the models and get the stylist. Sometimes, guys, honestly, we don't have to do it for the coin.
Yeah,
I
like
get
the-
we all have
forget
prices,
the tea.
but let's work towards building this brand. Even if we build a contract, that 6-month plan, let's work on that 6 months and work hard because
it goes back to what you were saying, you learn on the job.
exactly.
Even like when you have said that, man, like I also just want to go back onto something. You know, like I think there's nothing wrong with asking for help, dog. Like as a creative,
It never killed anybody,
like
bro.
just send out that message. Like let that person know, look, I'm trying to build my portfolio, or I'm trying to like learn and
So
how
in that sense, social media does help.
plays a positive role. A positive role. I just think that just like there's nothing wrong with asking for help. Like just engage in a conversation.
Because I believe social media can surpass Fashion Week. We can get better people to invest in allowing these brands to showcase more of their work. I guess also it's an economic thing. You know, that's another question I want to ask you guys. Is that does like the supply and demand chain affect certain brands or designers to get their work out because it's like, oh, it's expensive to manufacture.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard of a brand
Yeah.
that was on Fashion Week, yeah.
Yeah.
Not gonna disclose names, but they were on Fashion Week and they were working with a very notable organization, and those people never paid a cent. It came out that person's pocket. So does that also kind of affect them from like kind of feeling the necessity of why do I need SA Fashion Week if I can just continue doing it from my own pocket?
And I've never seen SA Fashion Week post something like bloggers post, this is what was worn at the SA Fashion Week.
And that,
like, you don't see like the audience, what they are wearing, you know?
Because that extends the amount of people that are gonna hop on this thing.
Exactly.
Overseas, you'll have French vloggers, French in
not even overseas in Nigeria, like
you know,
Lagos Fashion Week, bro.
I mean, there's Africa Fashion Week.
Yeah.
I think it's called Africa Fashion Week. I've not like dug deep into what they do, but I want to see like the kind of work. But also, it's like they can collaborate, because Fashion Week isn't a restricted community, meaning it allows every other brand to come through and showcase. Okay, so we shouldn't also restrict it to just South Africa. If we're able to also expand to go to the continent and be like, yo, come do with your streetwear brands or whatever luxury brand that you have, come showcase it this side.
Yeah,
it just grows it, bro. You know what I mean? And with the amount of photographers we have that are out there in the streets trying to find like a way to like push their business, the best way is to start at a fashion week so that they can post it on social media, so that the young kids that are sitting on social media 15 hours a day can be able to see that, bro.
Yeah.
And then they can be like, whoa, what's this? And they're like, hey, Mpumi, don't you do something like this? And then they kind of showcase it for us, you know? And that's the impact I think social media can have, is that it'll allow a certain group of people to kind of grow their work, you get me? And we'll have a lot more people doing something, because sometimes you find that a photographer and a stylist can have their own group where they're just shooting their own work, but because the photographer can get the exposure of Fashion Week and shooting what people have worn, it grows, bro. There's some people that are like sitting at home and like, hey, what is this person wearing? They need that thing to be taught, you know? And I feel like social media also is like the teacher of every kind of aspects that we want to learn, good or bad. But like if you're talking about how SA Fashion Week should like communicate, I feel like the best way to communicate is to have these bloggers, these people, just randoms flooding the streets and being able to like get the work out, bro. I'm trying to see myself on some photographer's page being like, yo, bro, send me those pictures, I look fly as hell.
Then we need to have more fashion exhibitions, bro.
Exactly. I'm getting me.
I mean, because all we have is parties, bro. You know it's bad when people look forward to dressing up when it's time for like shows like Afropunk. That's the only time people look forward to like dressing up. That's bad, bro. That's
a roast.
They're all roast.
Or Cotton Fest.
But like I see them now, but Cotton Fest and Afropunk. Those are like the only two events that people actually.
And that's bad. Because it only happens after like
that's
and
terrible,
think about
bro.
it. Those photographers that they have on set for those events, who are they focusing on? The so-called influencers.
True.
Yeah.
What about that? Okay, they do catch certain kids rocking whatever they rocking, yeah. But it's like, check what Pause Online does.
Pause Online shooting people,
randoms, bro.
Yeah.
And then they'll tag like 1 or 2 influencers.
Yeah, but I feel like we need more events where people are like deemed to like pull up.
Not necessarily events, but just chilling, like going to Shelf Life, like what we spoke about.
Yeah,
going to Shelf Life and hang out.
Let's talk.
Yeah.
It's mingle.
Like,
let's have fun.
Like
yeah,
a photographer,
drink,
like yo, look, like I think I'm with a friend of mine. Like, I think we could like do a young shoot right now.
Let's do it.
Because that gets the work going, bro, and like,
also,
we can also be able to like push Istuardo.
No, for sure. Because now every week you're dressing up. No? Weekly fits now.
You know.
Facts.
Now you're not waiting for an event, bro. Like.
That's why I keep on emphasizing on the idea of collaboration, and I'm sorry that it's something I keep bringing up. It's like, no, we need it, bro. We need it. It's important. It's like, when you used to go to school, like in primary school, I'm saying, and you taking a test, and you know how you used to have those desks where you sit in pairs, I'm saying, and then the teacher would be like, yo, you gotta cover your work, don't let them see what you're doing. That's how it is in the workspace right now. If you were to look at it, they'd be like, don't share your ideas, don't let anyone see what you have in mind. And I just feel like we just need to, like, we need to stop being a bit selfish, alright?
For sure.
And not hoarding like onto our ideas, because the more you live off your preserves is the more stale you become. You know what I'm saying? As a creative.
I feel like when me too as a creative, when it comes to ideas, I really don't fall in love with my ideas.
Yeah.
Okay, I might love it, but it's like, if it doesn't happen, I have to like check it out and like get another idea.
Yeah.
Because there's one thing I realized in my journey. When I fall in love too much with an idea, sometimes it prolongs. And like you're stuck up on this idea, and
it becomes
in that way you're shutting out like other creative ideas, because you want to like execute this one and it's not coming out. So I've learned to like check out ideas that don't come out when I really want them to, and I find more inspiration and go into like more ideas. Yeah, so that's what I do. I don't fall in love with my ideas to say, you know.
We need to talk more. We can move on to
as a community.
Yeah, like we just did.
Yeah, for sure. I think the spaces, bro. Like that's why I'm like, social media can impact the spaces that we are in. Live conversations. Have it live, just talking. Yeah. Even though people are gonna be like in and out. The ones that are remaining in that chat want to know more. And even if it's two people, enjoy that conversation you're having with that person, because then you're giving that person a code. And you never know who's on that chat, brother. You know? Next thing they're like, hey, yo, Six, I heard you're live. Hey, let me hop on. Let me give you this opportunity. I know a brother of mine that.
Yeah.
Next thing you're like, hey, I bet. Let me hop on. And look, when we have something, we can all attest that we kill it.
No, for sure. No, it's an everyday thing. No question, like
you know what
we
I mean?
fly every day, bro. No mistake. And it's just that we can't really
respect it.
it's not on social media in real life. Just because it's not posted doesn't mean it's not happening. You know, that's it.
We live it, bro.
Yeah.
And I can also attest that the amount of opportunities we've kind of given people are countless.
No, for sure.
And for those that even think that this isn't going to go far, they have to rethink that thought, because my man, this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't need to idolize any of them big guys to get the codes. I am getting my own codes so that I can get anyone else on that script and pass it, bro, because we're learning from the right people. And those people say, oh yeah, I'm also learning from those guys. What are you learning, bro, if you're gonna just put on your Mensa? It's not wrong to put them people on. I mean, we also can do that, but it's like there's a difference between working the me
and putting people on.
No, for sure. So I believe that social media also is like a disruptor to our creativity. Because the moment I see Taylor wearing Rich and I'm wearing H&M, it's like, give you like I'm not doing enough.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to buy followers so that I can beat your ass.
Shouldn't even be that.
And it shouldn't be like that, exactly. So it's like we need to educate more people. It needs to be a
matter of nah, Taylor's rocking Rich.
Yeah, you gotta be happy like,
to be fair, if a Taylor's rocking Rich, some of them can't even wear Rich, dog. Present it badly.
I mean, it's okay to have fashion police.
I like man.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
You know, like, are you selling it or you just wearing it because you can, you know?
That's because of Cho. Me,
you know? Like, can you wear it, dog? Like,
hey, bro,
are you fashion interpreted or like?
Hey, dog. I don't know, I'm sorry, like, I really use it. But I just think, dog, like you're saying about the fashion police and all of that, dog. Like, let's not forget that we're public figures. Like, people look onto you for direction. You're rocking that Rich and it's fly. But then, man, if that little kid, like, let's say for example, you're rocking Rich, right? And maybe like they produce duplicates in town. They make the same old Rich, but then maybe it's
Counterfeit.
fake. Yeah, it's fake or whatever. Right? Sorry, man, leave me wrong. But you get the fake product, right? And then you get this kid who's looking onto you for direction. He's like, damn, I gotta look like Jay. I gotta feel like Jay. I gotta look like Six. I gotta feel like Six. You know what I'm saying? Or like Frank or whatever. But what I'm saying is, if you're gonna be a fashion police, dog, and you like influencing like a generation or like a couple of kids on the street, like I don't think it's a good approach, dog, to kind of like always be like, yo, but if you're gonna call them out and be like, yo, like I think he's rocking that fake kick or that fake ritualness, like it's not cool, bro. Because at the end of the day, you're inspiring the movement, but you're still calling it out on being fake. So what's the point of looking at you for direction? You get what I'm saying?
But Taylor, we different. Me personally, I'm a stylist, so
Yeah.
if I see something that's like out of pocket, bro, it's out of pocket.
But you gotta allow it because you're inspiring the youth.
No, if it's out of pocket, it's out of pocket.
It's out of pocket.
Why support someone who wears counterfeit, bro? Because he's fucking up. Sorry for language.
Go ahead, go.
He's messing up
Go,
the thing,
bro.
dog. He's messing up Rich and Nissy's business.
He's
You know what I'm
messing it
saying?
up, but he's trying to support and promote.
He's
it.
not supporting him. He's ruining the business, dog.
But then Rich, okay. Hear me out. Okay, let's forget a big brand, right?
Okay, fair.
Let's talk about an Air Force One.
Fair. That's a big brand. Whoa. That's a big brand.
Okay,
Hey, that's a big boy.
Alright, bro, let's
Hey,
just
that's
talk
a
about
big
it.
boy.
Man, I'm not gonna tell you what.
Just create your own brand.
Yeah, though, okay, let's talk about maybe I got like
Taylor,
a brand.
let's go.
Yeah, I call like I'm rocking Taylor, man.
For
You know what I'm
sure,
saying? I'm
for
rocking that
sure.
Taylor mic, that OTM, you know what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
And it's fly, you know what I'm saying?
For
And like
sure,
damn,
for
like
sure.
maybe they producing my replicas in town, you know what I'm saying? And Six is rocking it so fly that kid feels like he's gotta have it. But man, if Six is inspiring a generation, dog, and he's trying to push, I don't wanna say my name per se, but the brand. At the end of the day, dog, if that kid is gonna go out and get a fake OTM, then, bro, let it be okay. Dog. We inspire
Swag
the
is
generation.
expensive, brother.
It is expensive,
Taylor,
but you inspire
Taylor,
the
So
Why
you cannot go out.
I'm not saying, hear me out.
Koreka,
Yo, bro,
fakey.
hear me out.
Taylor,
inspiring.
Taylor,
I'm hearing Taylor, bro.
Taylor,
Bro,
listen.
just hear
Listen.
me. I get it. Like, I'm not saying it's right, dog. Go cop that fake shit. I'm not saying, yo, let's all rock fake in the room then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but my
yeah.
point is, dog, you get kids, bro, who have parents, bro. They're struggling, bro.
No,
Their
we
mom's
get
probably
that.
gonna get into debt trying to get them that
We
Air
get
Force
it.
One
We
when
get
they could
it.
simply wake up in the morning and I gotta cop my son a shoe.
But Taylor, if you got swag, you got swag.
You got swag, bro.
So
but you're
regardless,
inspiring.
regardless of what you buy,
Yeah.
if you got swag, you got swag. If I have a brand and I Six, and
Bro,
I
some
see,
people
and
be
I
rocking
see,
fake
and I
shit
see
and
you,
you don't even
listen,
know it.
and I see you,
Nah.
and I see you have swag, you know, and you buy maybe my counterfeit.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know it's counterfeit, but I can see you inspiring what a generation.
Yeah.
I go to you. I'm like, nah. Get rid of the counterfeit.
Yeah.
Come work with me.
Yeah.
Simple.
It's like what Jay did
It's
to
not
that
that
fan.
easy, bro.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not that easy, but
It's
You
like
get
what
some
I
it's
did.
a
idea.
suggestion.
That's
It's a
what I'm trying to say.
suggestion.
I'll tell you what I think.
Counterfeit
Oh,
must
that's
stop.
Bro,
It's
your
like,
mom.
it's like what Jay did. It's an example. I don't know if you guys seen this video, yeah? Fans had like a couple of kicks out,
Okay.
and then Ye pulled out of the car,
Oh,
and then the fan was like,
For like, yeah,
and then
that's
the
so-
fan was like, "Yo, please sign my Yeezy," and then he's like, "This ain't it," but he
Like,
still
yeah,
signed it.
yeah.
Bro, that's my point.
He gave
Did
them
he still sign
originals.
it?
Didn't he give them like originals?
I don't know.
He did, because like those guys took off their old shoes. They gave like exchange for
Oh,
a pair of Yeezy.
you see, that's the thing.
And that's my whole point.
This is what I
He's
just said.
inspiring.
Paul Taylor. This is what I just said.
Because
Paul
if
Taylor
Ye
takes
just
the
kept
counterfeit.
quiet, I'm Tlogela.
Yeah.
Then Khujukoro, he was gonna continue the cycle of wearing the wrong shoes.
I get it, dog. And
And so now Ye corrected that method
Exactly, that's
of
what I
saying
said.
don't wear that. Here is the original pair.
Yeah.
Because I believe that if you can't afford it, stick to
don't
what you
get
can
it. Yeah,
afford.
I'll wait.
Don't go around.
It's not that
I
easy,
don't.
friend.
If you got swag, you
Bro,
got
like,
swag.
you know,
bro.
the thing is,
I'm
you be
hearing
speaking
you.
from
I'll
a
tell you
comfortable position.
Exactly. I'll
Dog,
tell you.
that's
I'll tell you
hear me
what,
out.
I mean, now we live in a generation of sustainable fashion.
Aye.
Meaning we can wear recyclable clothing.
Exactly.
So it's acceptable to try go thrifting.
Thrift the kid.
Exactly.
Exactly, bro.
But not
Exactly.
everyone's aware of thrift like that, Frank. Bro, your mama, it's your birthday, bro. Your mom just knocked off from work. She catch a taxi there at MTN.
Nah, don't laugh.
It's not funny. It's a
Yeah.
serious thing, bro. It's a
Yeah.
serious thing. It's not funny, bro.
Yeah,
Your mama trying to like make you the happiest kid, and she feel like, damn, like maybe my son been working hard in school, and man, he been crying for that Jordan 1.
Yeah.
And I gotta get it. Like, there's that one store in town, man. I don't know it by name, but you see these niggas sometimes they also copying from there, bro. Your mama feel like she gotta get you that because you want it, bro. You like, man. These people's parents are getting in debt trying to get their kids these kicks, bro, and we still gonna go ahead and denounce them. Ah, come on, bro. Like, hear me. I get it. It's not right to cop the fake shit. It's not cool. But then, bro, this is a real life thing we live in. There's no fantasy, dog.
Yeah.
Where now I'm gonna wish this kick. I'm gonna get it right now. We inspiring, bro.
If you keep it a bug, counterfeits actually give some sort of hope.
They give recognition to the brand. If
Exactly.
let's say that kid's getting like he's doing the numbers now because he copped that counterfeit. Factory's gonna be like, Dad, you know what? Sorry, I don't want to say factory because. But like if let's say Nike, like you rocking that Air Force One, and then you posted and you did the numbers, and then sorry, let's say Adidas because I know Adidas gives kicks. I don't know about Nike. So if you're rocking that fake Adidas, and then they like, damn, like you post it and you do the numbers, and then everybody's liking it, and then Adidas is like, AOT, you think we could get your details and all of that? Maybe we could supply you with the kicks. That's the movement, and that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
bro.
okay, there's ways
Yeah.
of attracting or getting to what you want.
Yeah.
There's ways. So you can go for counterfeit.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing.
I'm not saying.
And I'm not saying you
Counterfeit.
are publicly saying,
Counterfeit.
guys,
Yeah.
go wear fakes. No, we're not saying
I ain't saying that. I'm just
But
saying
we
that
just, like, I mean,
you
it's a chat.
impacting. You
Yeah.
impacting.
I get where you and Six are kind of going with,
Yeah.
with the whole chat, you know,
Yeah.
and the narrative.
Mm.
And also being able to, like, accept that, yo, okay, I'm not FS1. Push up, go buy 2 for 1. Okay, 2 for
No, but it gives hope.
Yeah,
Like it
yeah.
gives that,
Yeah.
oh
That's
shit,
what I'm
I
trying to
can
say.
do it.
That's
Like
what I'm
Six
trying
is
to
doing
say.
it for me.
Yeah,
I can do
yeah.
6.
I mean, Linda, if I can't,
Yes, sir. Sorry.
If-
That's hope.
oh, if I can't, for instance, I know when I grew up, my biggest idol was my sister. Her friend used to sell ipat. And I bought a Yeezy.
I heard this story far too many times. I mean,
Come on, bro. Allow it.
I mean, talking about counterfeit.
Yeah.
Social media comes in then educating the masses that this is original, this is fake.
Educate, basically not knowing is a problem.
Yeah.
So
But
educate
then-
yourself, learn, be open to learning.
Yeah, but
Um,
then there's still that mother that came.
No,
Taylor,
you
you understand that.
No,
You
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 get
get
the
understand
backstory, young one, no.
You
I'm,
understand.
I'm with you. Like I'm hearing your chat. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
100,
I'm
but-
just saying. I just feel like a lot of niggas are too quick to be like, yo, that's fake. You can't have.
Yeah.
it.
Thinking
But Taylor,
there's
there's
you,
people-
right, who have that storyline. Then there's Huning.
Oh wait, you see, Huning makes a lot of sense, bro.
Yeah, there's those people. Those guys need to be educated because they coming at us
Yeah.
thinking they
Hey,
better.
man, but there's a lot of people that are sitting in comfortable places, but still
Still
there.
fake.
And also there's those people.
Exactly.
Those are
Come on,
the
I'm Huning.
Exactly.
Those are the Hunings,
Exactly,
though.
man,
Cause
Legit.
you know,
That's right.
those are the
Yeah.
niggas that are like
Yeah.
disrespecting us. Cause
Yeah,
I know
no.
celebrities that are rocking fakes.
You know what I'm saying? And ain't nobody going out and be like, yo, I think that's fake.
And
We
why?
allow it,
And
it's still-
and a problem is these agencies are still gonna go for those niggas.
Yeah.
And it's like, why though?
That's
Well,
what
like
they
someone
image.
that's rapping a lovely factory and doing
Bro.
it good,
Bro, and he's doing it hard. Like, I ain't wanna.
making factory look luxurious, brother.
Let's go.
Shout out to factory.
You
So
a whole sustainable. This is whole sustainability. What you have on you, brother.
so social media is like has like a negative
And the positive. That's what we're trying to say.
Mm,
And
yeah.
is that if it's gonna be closing in the gap on Fashion Week, it has to
and educating people about
exactly because
fashion.
Fashion Week is also about educating people. So if it's gonna use social media as an empowering platform, then they have to share the codes, like you guys said.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, what other ways do you think can be implemented for designers or brands for them to be able to support themselves outside of these organizations, especially since we've like spoke about how we think that SA Fashion Week isn't contributing enough for them. So what other ways are possible for these guys to like support themselves and grow, and also allow accessibility for other kids to be able to be around those spaces, and also to like, I guess, get media attraction.
I personally don't know the ins and outs of owning a brand, so I'll be very
Brief.
yeah, to say this, and I'll be cautious with it, so because I don't want to be offensive or anything, because I don't run a brand, so I don't know the ins and outs and the trials and tribulations, So personally, I feel like brands, if you want to like see yourself shine out of SA Fashion Week, just build a community. I feel like first and foremost, build like a strong target market, a target market that that will always support you, and everything that you do, you cater for them.
Yeah.
And anyone else external who buys, that's good business, But the storyline and how you make your clothes, your photo shoots, how you describe your brand should be catered to this community, your target market, And anything other than that, you should like see lost for it, Don't be influenced by external views. So like mainstream, like what's popping, what's in demand, and then you try to push your brand in that way. Now stick to what your target market wants and how you've interpreted your idea of the brand to them, and how they've received it. So stick to those ethos, like sell for your target market, involve them more in your growth of the business, So yeah, I feel like personally, that's like something brands need to like look at
and kind of absorb that.
Yeah. Because with that, you also have a chance of growing the market. You know what I'm saying?
And also like influencing the market.
Yeah,
Getting more attraction abroad.
for sure.
Because I guess that's where most of them aim to like go, is to be attractive enough for the international borders to accept it. And I think the acceptance of wherever you're from shouldn't be like the driver of your brand, because then that's when you kind of drift away and forget about Lao Pumakon. So I believe that brands or designers upcoming, trust the people around you to help you grow your brand.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be like the greatest person that's on earth to believe in your brand. I mean, have the courage to go out and seek, whether you get rejected or not. Just dibble dabble, dog.
Yeah.
It's like tit for tat. You get, and I believe that opportunities come from experimenting.
And I mean, if you do want that international market, similar to music, you can't take, for instance, style play of like Amigos, and then want to sell it in America. You won't sell.
Yeah.
So if as a brand, as a designer, you want to sell in another foreign state, then what you bring in that state has to be very different and very like rooted to your ideas, where you come from, your environment, your influences. Because you can't go into a foreign country and try sell what's already selling.
And I guess we'll just have to find out from people who are willing to speak to us about these things.
Yeah.
Because I think sharing the information can help us
Understand
better and be able to like teach the laws in a much more structured form. Because right now we've given them the voices. If they can trust us enough to like use the codes, like I think that's the important part, is the codes. and let us use those codes to be able to like find a certain designer that's upcoming and teach them, because can't depend on I think also with SA Fashion Week is that they have like student graduates that can easily find their ways in there.
Yeah, because I think they have like is it a scout program or like a competition that they host, so the winners or runner-ups, I'm not too sure, end up being able to showcase their work at the show.
So I feel like even after that, is that how do you guys continue to help them?
Yeah, the aftermath, I feel like is the important part.
Yeah, I think that's like what I'm trying to say, is that I think after the show, are you gonna give them a contract ability in the next 5 years you'll be showcasing?
Yeah.
And also we should showcase at the same time international people are doing it, so that we can also be distracted by what they are putting out. You know, it shouldn't be like a lucrative market. It should be a very open one. And
yeah, it's like have these brands, designers going to showcase in like the Legos this week, next week go showcase, come back home, showcase in Cape Town, you know, and then the other week take a flight, go showcase in New York, something like that.
I feel like now people are like, well, I've seen some brands are hopping on or are doing pop-ups. And I think pop-ups do give them that thing, but it's like you want them to sell, because that's like the
idea
of pop-up is that you want to sell the product to someone. Yeah, so I feel like if they can flip the script of a pop-up and try not sell the product, but try market the product.
Or the business
itself. The chances of them selling the product are high.
Facts.
Alright, and to add on, like I think it's imperative that like if you have a product or an idea or like whatever talent it is that you could possibly possess, and you're like trying to market it and you're trying to sell it in the best ways, I think if you have you have that, right? I think you should try to dramatize it. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, like to dramatize it in the same way that a cartoonist would do, like with the cartoon, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, if you know, like a horse can jump over, it could jump over, like, let's say, a certain box that's been placed here. So I feel like you should just go ahead and accept that, like, oh, a horse can jump the Great Canyon, for example. I feel like that's how you should look at, like, whatever it is that you have in mind. Like, just set a goal that is bigger than the initial one that you have in mind. Like, if you're trying to make it onto like you're trying to sell a fashion week in SA, then maybe you should be thinking it more like at an international level. Like, just start there, start big, so when you fall, like, you know, Kanye say, like, what's that line? Reach for the stars, so if you fall, you land on the clouds, something like that. I just think that's how we should be thinking at like, because at the end of the day, man, we all just trying to like have a great way of living. And I know like a lot of people are just worried about a source of income. How are they gonna eat, like if they're working at like a commercial level, and if they're consistently working with people and money isn't coming in, like they're not getting cut in on checks and things like that. I just think it's important to focus on pushing the ideas that you have, and in due timing, and not in due timing, but in divine timing, everything will just show up as it is. That's what I personally feel and think should be the approach.
No, for me, I don't have much to say. I just think with this, the only way is to, if they're not going to give you an opportunity to show off who you are and what you bring to the table, might as well do it yourself then. If no one's going to give you a room, build your own, you know? That's it. So create your own space, come together with other creatives, and like, let's create our own event, if I should say. When we do our own thing, eventually it's going to be hard to ignore, because you guys are going to be doing it like really well. Now everyone, like, you guys are drawing attention, and exactly, so it's going to be so hard to ignore that the media will soon jump on, everyone will jump on. So I think if they're not going to give you that plate, go hunt for yourself, go make it yourself, you know, like do it come together with other people and do that. I mean, I don't know, I don't own a brand yet, but of course I have thought about the whole brand and brand dynamics and everything like that. And that's what I think. If no one's gonna give me like an opportunity to like showcase my brand, I will make a plan to do it myself, you know, and by maybe not on my own with other people and like doing things, having events, creating our own events. It doesn't have to be big, what we spoke about earlier on the show, like going to spaces and then just chilling, putting our clothes there, having our fashion shows, our own fashion shows.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's just it. It's honestly it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've like managed to speak about everything, and in totality, I just believe that for those that are like coming up and are willing to go through like the ups and downs, whether you're a designer, a qualified designer, I don't know what you guys are putting yourselves in, or like an off-market designer, or like someone that's just looking out to start a brand, find the right ways and learn those ways to kind of get your brand out. And from us, we are out, we happy.
Share the codes.
Share the codes.
Share the codes.
Share the codes, man. Share the codes. There's enough for
Yeah,
everyone to eat.
Definitely.
Yeah, shout out.
We can all eat, man. Share the codes.